Okay, it's that time again. Most popular net on the East Coast, the Metro Richmond ARES net. It's on the MRA 145.430. Thank you for watching. In case you missed it, it'll come up shortly. This is for entertainment purposes only, where we record people's conversations and put them on the internet. Just adjusting all these radios. Going to cause interference to myself. You don't need any more faux pas than we have necessarily on the net. What? I too am waiting. It's a little early. One of these days I'm going to have some intro music. Figure all that out. Maybe a little bit more editing than just this straight shot that I always do. Sounds like somebody's getting impatient. Unplug that accessory there. I was using an amplified speaker on this particular phone, so I could string to a little bit louder than this thing will handle.
Good evening, everyone. This is KO4UOR, Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Oscar Romeo, calling the Metro Richmond ARES net for Thursday, May 9th. Your net control station this evening is KO4UOR, and my name is Scott. If at any time during this net you should need to relay emergency traffic, please use the word brake, and the net will yield for your traffic and assist in any way we can.
Let's see if that weather cleared up.
Metro Richmond ARES is part of the ARRL and the Virginia Section ARES program. This net meets weekly on Thursdays at 1900 hours on the 145.430 repeater. The purpose of this net is for training and announcements for the amateur radio community, with an emphasis on emergency communication. We ask that all participating stations follow standard net procedures that would be used during an active emergency net. There is no requirement to be an ARES member. All amateurs who are within range of this repeater, regardless of location or affiliation, with proper license class, are invited and encouraged to participate in this net. This is KO4UOR with the Metro Richmond ARES net. Before we get started, some general housekeeping. This is a directed net, which means stations must be acknowledged by the net control station before proceeding with comments or discussion. One feature of this net is the discussion of the day. The discussion of the day is intended to be a way to learn more about
Well,
I think I heard Ron check in. If so, Ron, please check in again. I didn't get any of your call sign. I heard you say this is, but after that break, I didn't catch any of it. Go ahead and check in now, sir.
This is Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot, Mike, Ron, Romeo Oscar November. I'm in and out because it started raining on me.
Oh, goodness. Sorry to hear that, Ron. Yeah, you go on and get in out of the rain. Maybe we'll come back to you in a bit. Are there additional mobile and portable stations wishing to check in to the Metro Richmond ARES net? Please call now.
Don's on the wrong frequency again.
KQ4 QAD, Kilo Quebec 4, Quebec Alpha Delta. The name is Brandon. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo Foxtrot. KQ4, give me up. Mark. This is Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo Alpha Mike. The name is Will.
All right. Net control acknowledges Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot Mike, Ron. Kilo Quebec 4, Quebec Alpha Delta, Brandon. Kilo Quebec 4, Mike Echo Foxtrot, Mark. And Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo Alpha Mike, Will. Ron, if you're still available to make comments, I'd like to go to you first, but I understand if you're no longer able to read us. If you are available, we'd love to hear any stories you have about collections. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, Ron said he would be in and out because it started to rain and he gets his best signal outdoors. Next, let's go to Brandon, KQ4QAD. Brandon, do you have any interesting or unusual collections to tell us about?
KQ4 QAD. When I was a kid, so my father was a traveling salesman, and I thought it was always cool to get wherever he went, he would bring back a local newspaper. And this was in the 80s, and I remember one in particular when the story broke about Magic Johnson when he got AIDS. As of right now, though, my son is 13. He's collecting Archie comics, if you guys remember those. I read Archie back in the day, and he's got 102 issues of Archie.
Archie. I thought he said RT, Romeo Tango.
Okay, very interesting. So newspapers from the 80s, and the most memorable story was Magic Johnson and him getting AIDS. Yeah, I remember that as well. Archie Comics, that makes me wonder if the Archie Comics are anything like they were when they first became popular. I don't know if that was the 60s or 70s. I'm you. Thank you for that. Yeah. We've got sun now, but I see dark storms in just about every direction. I'm thinking we may avoid them, but I'm usually wrong. This is KO4UOR calling the Metro Richmond ARES net. Next, let's go to Mark, KQ4 MEF. Good evening, Mark. Where are you? What is the weather? How are you reading me? And tell us about any collections you think might be of interest.
Yeah, good evening, Scott. KO4UOR, KQ4MEF. I am in Micha, I think that's State Park. It's down in Gloucester, off of 17. I think we're about 10 miles from the North River Bridge. Surprised that I can get in, so I am on the 50-watt neighborhood and have a headphone antenna about up in the air. Signal when you're coming in about a S5, S4, little scratchy, so I was shocked, and hopefully y'all will hear this. My only collection is I do a little bit of amateur photography, so I collect old cameras. So I have probably 5, 10 of those. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it back over to you, Scott. KO4UOR, this is KQ4MEF.
All right, very good, Mark. Very good. Yeah, you're getting into the repeater quite well. There's a small amount of white noise on your signal, but yeah, no problem at all. So enjoy your time at the state park that I'm not going to try to pronounce in Gloucester. That sounds like a lot of fun. Hope you're there for the whole weekend. Let's see. Yeah, next on our list is Will, KQ4RAM. Where are you this evening, Will? What's the weather like there? How are you reading me? And tell us about any unique or unusual, I guess that's the same thing. Interesting or unusual collections. Go ahead.
Important to write these things down first. Where's Will? There he is.
Secondly, I'm in eastern Hanover County. It's raining very hard a few minutes ago, but it's not stop. But it's still pretty cloudy. Maybe it's trying to clear up. And I'm reading you very well. I am on a handheld currently. Hopefully you're reading me okay. As far as collections go, I've been coming off and on coin collector, still maintain that. My wife collects garden gnomes, and there for a bit, I started to collect vintage water coolers, but I quickly learned that they take up way too much space. So I'll probably abandon that collection. I'll keep what I have. Anyway, back to you, Net Control. This is KQ4RAM Will.
Okay, Will, very good, very good. Now, the first thing that I heard you say was secondly, and you told us where you were. What was first? I missed that.
Oh, you missed the whole key to my transition. I was congratulating you, Scott, on achieving your amateur extra life. Saying we're proud of you. Congratulations on that. KQ4RAM.
Aww.
Oh, goodness, now I'm embarrassed. But honestly, I had not heard that. And yes, thank you very much. I am a recent graduate of the RARC extra class exam prep course. And I took the test last week. The rest of the class, well, 2 of us took the test last week in Powhatan and passed. And then I think there are maybe 5 other
I'm a general.
Please call now.
This is Kilo Delta 6, Foxtrot, Mike. Ron Romeo Oscar November, check it back in.
Net control, this is. William, Kilo 4, Alpha, Romeo X-ray.
Alpha 4, Victor India. The name is Larry. This is. This is Whiskey 4, Romeo Tango Hotel, but. This is. Kilo Oscar 4, Kilo Alpha Delta. Randy and Western Henrico. Kilo Quebec 4, Papa Charlie Whiskey. Micha. This is Kilo 4, X-ray. Kilo 4, Echo, X-ray, Don in Chester. Kilo Quebec 4, Romeo Tango Uniform, TJ.
All right, this is KO4UOR calling the Metro Richmond ARES net. The topic this evening is interesting or unusual collections. And like most kids, I guess girls and boys, but definitely boys, I had a rock collection for a long time. And if I went through some boxes around this in the house here, I'm sure I'd find some of those that were just too good to let go. But anyway, yeah, and I have a daughter who is, let's see, I think she's 31, and she has a growing collection of shark's teeth. Anyway, let's see. Net Control acknowledges KD6FFM, welcome back, Ron. K4ARX, William. AA4VI, Larry. KO4KAD, Randy. W4RTH, Bob. KQ4PCW, Micha. K4EXX, Don. KQ4RTU, TJ. We've got a nice list going. So I'm going to go up to Ron. Good evening, Ron. I take it the rain has passed and you're outdoors again. Please share your comments. Let's see. Tell us where you are. Give me a signal report if you would. And then tell us about any interesting or unusual collections you have or know about.
This is KD6FFM. I never left the area. Rain stopped. I am Western Henrico. I have no traffic. I belong to my collection. I have is not really an unusual collection. It's an old collection of photos I took when I was stationed in Erlangen, Germany in 1960, and some pictures I took in Berlin, Germany when I went up there for a week in 1961. I took the pictures. I learned how to develop the negatives and the prints. So some of the prints I have in my collection here are almost 64 years old.
pretty cool, Ron. Yeah, boy, the 60s in Germany. Let's see. Yeah, well, that's interesting. So, I don't know if you lived there for a time or if you just visited several times, but that sounds like a treasured collection. And Ron, I have to ask you, I've heard, or maybe even done it once, I've heard once or twice you being referred to as Mike, and I'm wondering if with your phonetic, your suffix, foxtrot, Mike, since that's the last thing some people hear, they may stick you with the name Mike rather than Ron. Does that happen often, or is that unusual?
Kitty 67, I have no problem with my name. Sometimes when I first got in the net back in 2013, I almost the call sign of the Mars station I worked at Hamilton Air Force Base, which is Alpha Golf 6 Hotel Quebec. So I had trouble trying to quit using my Mars call sign, use my ham call sign. And my trips, I was stationed in Germany, 60 to 63, and I went up to Berlin for 1 week to visit a friend of mine in the Woodford Service Club, and I stayed there for air barracks. So I went up, stayed there for a week. And no, my name's fine. I just something always get my hard call sign instead of my ham call sign when I first got in the net.
And repeater sounds like it's got the Hershey squirts.
Right, very good. Thank you for that, Ron. And William, I don't mean to make this sound weird, but I think of you several times a day because I was given a new work-related password that has your suffix in it, ARES.
Why?
So it's helping me memorize the 16-character password, but I'm not quite there yet. Anyway, good evening, William. Please tell us where you are, give us a signal report, maybe a weather report, and talk to us about collections you may have or know of. Go ahead.
Net control KO4UOR from K4ARX here. And I thought I've eliminated all the background noise, and I have not. William, Chaco Valley, you guys, all of you are loud and clear in the repeater. I don't have any problems hearing you at all on the MRA. As far as collections go, you know, for looking at the American Radio X-Ray on YouTube of what I already have, I will be adding, fortunately tomorrow, a Radio Shack HDX10. It will come in. Also adding a larger sound mixer from Realistic as well, so it gets far more radios than I used to have. So hopefully by the weekend I'll be running 10 meters sideband and probably tune up a vertical for FM as well. So lots of fun to be had, I hope. I think everything is kind of weather delayed this week. I also picked up an ICOM BC35 drop-in charger for the older radios, and I'm charging the HTX series radios that way now. So kind of maintaining the newer batteries. K4ARX. I tried to beat the timeout timer.
Business. Yeah, William. So William collects radios, Motorola, let's see, scanners. And it's good to hear you're getting a rig for 10 meters. I know you've been itching to get.
Oh yeah.
to expand
Get back
your
into 10
horizons
meters.
a little bit beyond simplex 2 meters and repeaters. So yeah, that's pretty
It's
exciting.
all fun.
And yeah, so check out William's YouTube channel if you want to see some of those vintage radios that he has acquired.
Thank you, Scott.
All right. Next, we're going to go down
Shameless
to Larry, AA4VI. Good evening, Larry. Please give us your location, the signal report, and tell us about interesting or unusual collections.
Well, good evening to you, Scott, and all on the net. This is AA4VI. Yes, the name is Larry, and I am located in western Louisa County.
Isa.
approximately 5 miles east of Gordonsville, Virginia. The repeater has a very, very good signal here at my location, about 10 dB over S9, so a very strong signal and you're full quiet. The weather here has been overcast. We've been looking for thunderstorms here all day this afternoon. We had a little sunshine earlier, but that is turned into overcast skies here now, but no rain or thunderstorms as of yet. We'll see what happens later on the evening.
Oh, it's coming.
The only thing I have collection-wise, Scott, is early Yaesu tube transceivers, and you can look at my call sign. You can see my website, but I like playing with those, restoring them, getting them back on the air, and just having fun. Thanks for doing this, Scott. We'll turn it back over to you. This is AA4BI.
Is it Bravo India or Victor India?
Thank you very much, Larry. Your signal is excellent. Coming in from western Louisa. Just a little bit of white noise on your signal, but obviously 100% readable, nice and strong audio. And I wanted to ask you about that Yaesu 2 radios. Have you had a QSO with Frank, KQ4LTH?
Probably not.
His recently acquired Yaesu 2 radio by chance? Or maybe you're the one that gave it to him, but I know he's super excited about it. Just curious. Have you had a QSO with Frank?
Take it as a
The
note.
Richmond County Net on Monday night saying that, yes, he had been donated an FT101ZD, I believe, and I think he had gotten on 10 meters with it, so that's great. I'm glad that Frank is able to get on HF now, so that was good news.
Yeah, low VHF, but technically, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Thank you for that. This is KO4UOR net control for the Metro Richmond ARES net. Next, we go to Randy. Let's see, what is his title? Head Poobah? No, net manager. KO4KAD. Good evening, Randy. Please share your comments.
Continue to listen. I'm going to go refill my coffee cup. I'll be back.
Net extra controller, KO4UOR. This is KO4KAD. Yeah, congratulations, Scott, on your extra. I think I told you yesterday, but it escapes me, so congratulations. You certainly deserve
finished high school, I guess, it seemed like Motorola had taken over the mobile radio business for police and fire and public safety. So I think ARES radio is a remnant that started from General Electric. But anyway, yeah, very good. All right. As is our custom, it is the bottom of the hour, so I want to see if there are additional stations wishing to check in. Additional stations wishing to check in to the Metro Richmond ARES net. Please call now with your call sign and first name.
Whiskey 4 Zulu Alpha Kilo, John. Kilo 4 Sierra Hotel Oscar. Name is Andrew.
Andrew is here. I missed a couple of call signs. Did you write them down? Did you write them down for me?
All right.
I'll catch up.
Net Control acknowledges W4ZAK, John, and K4SHO, Andrew. Welcome, and we will get to you shortly. Next, let's go up to Bob, W4RTH. Good evening, Bob. Please tell us where you are, how you're hearing us, maybe a little about the weather, and then tell us about interesting and unusual collections you know about.
Guess I'm not too far behind.
Yeah, thank you, Scott. I'm located in Hanover, where it's overcast and had a few showers, but seems to have eased up, so we shall see. And I'll also collect coins and paper money also. Anything coin related that shows me an interest. I don't have anything in particular that I collect, but I do have a collection of paper money. You might not know, but during World War II in Hawaii, all the currency in Hawaii was stamped with Hawaii on the front of it. The ones, the 5s, the 10s, the 20s, and Hawaii stamped on each end, and on the back, Hawaii stamped all the way across the back of this currency. And I have all 4 of these, the 1, the 5, the 10, and the 20, graded by PMG and what's called slabs. That means they're in a sealed envelope type deal. And all of them are graded about uncirculated or choice uncirculated. And then in North Africa during World War II, they also have a yellow seal or gold seal on the front of the currency. So if the Germans took all the currency in North Africa, then they would be worthless. And the same thing I forgot to tell you in Hawaii, that if the Japanese invaded Hawaii, the Hawaii currency would be worthless because it has Hawaii stamped on it. So anyway, I got 3 of those also. The 1, the 5, and the 10 was the only ones they made in North Africa with the yellow seal. I got 3 of those slabbed also. So that's kind of interesting and a little trivia. So I figured I'd throw that back over to you. KO4UR, W4
Lots of coin collectors out there. Pretty neat hobby.
Here is my collection. I've had a few. So one is flashlights. I love flashlights, and I collect them all the time. But I've collected over the years and sweatshirts too. Serve. He collects Hot Wheels and big collections of things like that. Thank you.
You're right on the edge, Micha. Did you say flash
Okay,
money?
thank you, Micha. That was tough copy. A lot of noise on your signal, and you were in and out of the repeater a little bit. But I did hear about your flashlight collection. I
Oh,
think that one's pretty cool. And boy, one little flashlight I have was, I don't know, it was a premium given away at work. And it's just a little miniature tack light, I guess you would say. A single double A
Lantern?
battery, and then you can adjust the focus. And one thing that's kind of fun with that is you can
Flashlight.
adjust the focus to the point where an image of the LED chip, I guess you would say, is projected onto the wall. But yeah, flashlights, and then you mentioned Hot Wheels. I think you said that was perhaps one of your children's collections. Yes, I had Hot Wheels, and Matchbox. I bet almost all of us could have added that to our report.
Used to.
All right. Next, let's go to Don, K4EXX. Good evening, Don. I know a few things you collect, and they're much bigger than you could put in your pocket. Tell us where you are, give us a signal report, and tell us about your collections, please.
Good evening, John, and everybody on the net. I'm over here a couple of miles north of Chester, near 288 Chester Road. And the weather's been great here today. I'm sorry for the guys over in Hanover with all that rain running them inside, but it's been very nice here. As far as collections, somewhere in the late 80s, early 90s, I ended up with a Mustang. So I kind of collect automobiles. I've got, I think, 6 antiques. And an antique has to be over 25-year-old. 3 of them are drivable and are usable. In fact, one of them, my 1999 F Ford Lightning, which just turned 25 in April, I drive in every day that I drive. I don't drive every day, but if I did, I drive in a lot. I have a 65 fastback, V8, 3-barrel, 4-speed, air-conditioned, limited slip rear. I don't drive that one. It's on a trailer. It's what's called a Trailer Queen. It's restored to even better than new condition. I only show it in shows, which I haven't shown it since 2004. I've kind of got out of going to car shows as I got older. I have a 66 convertible that's restored to like new condition, and it's drivable, and I do drive it once in a while. A 66 Ford pickup that needs to be restored, and a 47 Army Jeep that needs to be restored. It's that's identical to what was used. In fact, it may have been used in World War II, but I got it, but it said it was a 47 model, so it couldn't have been used in the war, but it's just like those, the same model.
Vietnam.
And I've gotten
Conflict.
old, and I don't really mess with a restored vehicle much anymore like I used to. Looks like what I'm collecting now is HTs. I must have 5 or 6 of them. I'm going to have to do something about my radio collection and get away from HTs and start collecting base stations. That would probably be better. Anyway, 73, 79
Have you used your privileges yet, Scott?
Okay, thank you very much, Don. Appreciate those kind words. Wow, Mustangs. That's a wonderful thing to collect. Yeah, those are two beautiful models that you just described. I love the fastback body style. I had a 67 coupe, and my father had a 68 convertible, and my brother-in-law drove that car until about 2 years ago, and it now resides with a collector, maybe a restorer in Tampa, Florida. So, yeah. And, yeah, collecting HTs. There are a lot of people with a lot of HTs, and I still have just the one. Both ends UV5R, but I can see where that could become addictive, I guess you could say. This is KO4UOR. Next on our list is TJ, KQ4RTU. TJ, please tell us where you are, and give us the signal report, and tell us about your collections.
This is KQ4 RTU, TJ. I'm out here in New Kent County, off of exit 205, Interstate 64, if anybody's familiar. I'm reading you loud and clear. I hope the same is the case for me. I don't have any major collections. I wish I had the resources to collect Mustangs. That'd be pretty cool. I do have somewhat of a collection of radios. I've got several over the years. Got a couple of XTL 5000s, XTS 5000s, APXs, and several different models from ARES. Then I just purchased one of the ARES General Electric Maycom. So this is radios from the area where they were going through all the name changes. One of the M7100s. It's a VHF rig with 110 watts. I'm going to use that for my base station once that arrives. I'm just waiting on FedEx to deliver that. And as a kid, I collected lanyards. Collected lanyards from different places, but that was several years ago.
Yeah, that is an interesting collection, lanyards, and that's a good one because they are pretty unique and collectible. Some of them are really neat. Some are just kind of generic. But yeah, nice radio collection too. And I could learn a lot from you about the history of GE mobile radio toward the end of the 70s, I guess. By the time my father retired from General Electric, they were in a joint venture with Sony Ericsson and cell phones. So, quite a change. All right. Thank you, TJ. Next, let's go to John, W4ZAK. Good evening, John. Please tell us where you are, give us a signal report, and tell us about your collections. But before I turn it over to you, I needed to tell TJ that just a little white noise on your signal, and Don, maybe a moderate amount, well, in between light to moderate white noise on your signal, but you're getting into the 543 machine much better tonight than in past weeks. Sorry about that, John. Go ahead.
Good evening, Scott. Good evening, everyone on the net. I tend to collect HTs and mobile units, but I have a lot of collections. My father was a collector, so I've inherited a stamp collection and a photograph collection of tens of thousands of slides, photographs, and negatives. He was a professional photographer and an architect, so he took pictures of all his buildings, and then he took pictures of us growing up, of course. It is heck to have a photographer for a father. You're always buzzing
One more. Well, one more that's checked in.
Okay, thank you very much, John. HTs and mobile rigs, stamps and slides, both professional and family. Yeah, I treasure the photos that we have of family. And I say I treasure them, meaning I really, really like them. I don't do as great a job of protecting them. But, all right. Next, we go to Andrew. And Andrew, I'm not sure I got all of your call sign. I wrote it as K4SHO. Please tell us who you are, give us a signal report, and talk to us about collections.
Central is Kilo for Sierra Hotel Oscar. Real quick and the general again. I am here in Midlothian, Virginia, and I have grand total of 3 collections. I collect seashells down by the seashore. I also collect Motorola radios. I have XPR radios for DMR. I also have P25 radios. I have an old radio, those of you that remember Whiskey 4, Sierra Victor Romeo 54 FBR. I'm talking on his radio right now. I also have a collection, an international collection of fire station pictures. Let me pause. I think I ran out of time on this. Anyway, those are my collections. Fire station picture collection, seashell collection, and Motorola radios. So that's that compared to everybody.
That sounds pretty unique, Andrew.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Yeah, seashells, that's a good one. My mom has collected seashells forever. Motorola radios, again, those things are really popular. I'm sure there is probably a Motorola radio collectors club. P25 radios. Yeah, W4SVR, Chuck Smith. Yeah. One of the hymns I really admired, and it's great to hear that it sounds like his repeater is going to be put back into service, or I'm not sure exactly the connection, but I did hear that recently on the air. And fire station photos, that's interesting. International fire station photos. That makes me think of those videos you sometimes see online of foreign firefighters in competition where they have a souped up vehicle that races up to a fire hydrant, they connect to it, pull the hose out, they have ladders to climb multi-story buildings. Pretty fun to watch. And for those who don't know, Andrew is a member of the flying squadron in Richmond, and as I understand it, they take care of the feeding and comfort of firefighters responding to, active fires. Anyway. All right, this is KO4UOR. We are at the bottom of the list again. I'd like to put out one more call for additional check-ins. Anyone else wanting to check into the Metro Richmond ARES net, please call now.
Where are you, Gavin? KN40NK, Motorola and Harris Collector. Speak too soon? There he is. Ha ha.
Kilo November 4, Echo Mike Kilo, Gavin. In and out. Okay.
Aw. Tell us about your collection. I'm not telepathic. So technically one more.
All right, net control acknowledges. Well, Gavin is in and out, but correct me on your call sign. I wrote Kilo November 4 Echo Mike. What am I missing?
One more kilo.
Kilo November 4 Echo Mike Kilo KN40. Okay. Over.
Thank you very much. And net control acknowledges KQ4NFI. I hope I got that right. Kilo Quebec 4 November Foxtrot India. I didn't catch your name, but I think you said you're in Smithfield. Please give us a signal report and talk to us about your collection.
Yes, good evening, Net. Everyone on the net. This is Steve, KP4, November Fox, India, and Smithfield. Hope I'm making it up the stretch up the river. It's about 64 miles, so I guess the conditions are right. We had a thunderstorm. I'm getting you guys S3 or 4 a little bit scratchy, but you're coming in, which is not often. So I've got some new antennas up, but I only have them on the deck. So they're slated to go up on the roof pretty soon. And I guess I'm collecting antennas at this point, but I don't really have any valid real collections, although I have too many of things. So that's the way that goes. Thank you for it, and back to net 7-3.
Not bad.
All right, 7-3. Thank you so much for checking in. Yeah, there's a moderate amount of white noise on your signal, but heard everything you said. And yeah, antenna collection. That's a good one. That's a good one. And thank you for checking in. Join us whenever you can. All right, so I'm going to prepare to close the net. One other thing I used to collect as a young person was ink pens. Ink pens, not fancy ones, just unusual ones. I always liked ink pens. And if I were to collect anything now, I think I'd be interested in collecting Viewmaster reels. Something that's still really fun about those 3D images. And I bet you can still find a lot of those reels. I think they still make them. But anyway. Alrighty. Well, let's see. We had
16 including net control.
Tonight, 16 including myself. Really good net tonight, and I appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to mention a few other MCOM nets that take place each week. On Mondays at 7 p.m., the Pelican ARES net meets on 147.315. And then also on Monday nights, oops, I went too far. Let me switch hands and scroll up. Also on Monday nights, the Goochland County MCOM net meets at 8 p.m. on the 147.270 repeater. On Tuesday nights, the Dinwiddie County ARES net meets at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. I think it might have moved to 8, but I'm not sure. On the 147.390 repeater. Also on Tuesday nights, the Chesterfield ARES net meets at 2100 hours. I think that's 9 p.m. And is called by David, KN4LQN, on the 147.360 repeater. Also on Tuesdays, please check in to the Chesterfield County ARES WinLink net. More information is available at the care.
See you next week.